I'm here with, this is Brad Case. I'm here with Jeff Little.
What are we doing?
We're out here for the elusive black bass on an oxbow here off the Pearl River.
It's a hometown honey hole.
It is a honey hole, but it's one of the best because we're looking at temperatures in about 93 to 95 with 100 and something heat index. So this lake oxbow has a lot of trees in it to give us some shade later on.
It's steamy. Like, that's what's happening with my camera.
Oh, fogging up from the humidity here.
It's humid. I had to have the windshield wipers on the whole way here just because of the.
Yeah, we're not but about 4 miles or 3 miles. No, I take that back. About a mile from the river, and it puts out a lot of fog.
Yeah.
The humidity here is pretty strong, and it's been raining. We're going down to a farm. They allow me to come in and fish it, and so we're going to have some fun.
Cool. Let's go catch some fish.
All right. Here we're at Lake A. Simple way of putting it. We're going to make a run from our ramp to about a mile to the other end. A little bit shallow, but a lot of grass there, so hopefully we'll get an early top water bite.
What do you want to tell me?
Just like this is a lake I like bringing kids to. It's easy to, where their parents can come to. And I've had several of them catch their personal best, which for them 6 pounds. And they enjoy it so much they want to continue in it. At least till they get about 16, 17. Then this thing called girls or high school sports gets in the way.
Right.
And I keep trying to tell the coaches that high school bass teams can be classified as a sport, but some schools don't accept that yet. But we're still working on it. And this is great. Or get some of my wounded veterans over here to fish. We're not crowded. Usually, sometimes I may be a crappie fisherman in here or some brim fishermen. But it's just a beautiful lake.
All right.
They're good color.
Yeah, it's a pretty fish. Jackhammer fish. Came right through a little narrow spot, and first fish of the day. Brad's honey hole. See ya.
Y'all may notice I usually keep it running low RPMs on the motor just to keep the kayak barely moving. If I have a current, I don't have to worry with that. But if I'm going up, I usually just work toward the eddies. But here on a flat lake, I just keep it barely moving. Because I'm trying to cover water, kind of like a power fish, and seeing what I can find. I know they're here, it's just where they want to hit and where they want to hit. Right ahead of me, there's a lot of hydrilla up under the water that comes off about 10 yards to 15 yards out. And then it drops down to where just a scattered hydrilla up under. Well, an underspin. Let's see. Lay him down here beside the banana. 16 inches. Nice fat fish. A typical place where I wipe my hands.
On your pant leg.
Pant leg, because it's still wet.
Right.
That's a gambler lure, an easy swimmer. And that's the regular size. I think that's a bluegill or a brim color. You see all the it's got that gold in it. And gold's been a key factor in the flake on the baits today. And I just wanted to take it slow and easy. We tried to frog a little bit, nothing. Jeff was able to catch one on a chatterbait. I tried, no luck yet. I said I'm gonna slow it down a little bit more. And this is what I'm using right now with underspin. I thought he'd missed it. There you go, guys. This is the next cast. $17.75, maybe 18. That was just a quick measurement. That's good enough for me to know. Good looking fish, good color. Yeah, now you know why I like this spot. He's on your side.
What's that, like 3 and 5 or 6 casts?
3 and 4 casts.
3 and 4 casts.
You know, this tournament, I've been trying to get this 5-pounder in here. After I get a shower. Oh, yeah, folks, see? $20.25. Here we go, a $20.25 off the Easy Swimmer again. 4 fish out of 7 casts. So not bad, good mouth. Easing him into the water. Let him get bigger. See him later on.
All right, I had to get in on the action. Filmed him catch all those fish. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, let me get in on that.
As soon as you went
Alright, I switched over. We hadn't got as many bites. We got a bunch of bites for a while in this area, and then I said, let's go back in with something a little more subtle. I got the Z-Man Zinkers on there. And just let it root around in there. Alright. That's a healthy fish, man. Yeah, he's 19 and a half.
All right, you can see the trees around. That's why I mentioned earlier about liking the rods up under. Normal, let me get this one kind of out of the way a little bit here. How the 4 rods down. Then my two that I'm looking at being my primaries up top. So I was first looking this morning to be having a top water bait, swim paddle tail for top, and a chatterbait or the grass hog from me, vibrating jig with my alternates. Well, I pulled up the underspin with a paddle tail on it to use, and that came off my bottom 4, 2 on each side that the native Titan allows you to have. And so I have able to carry 10 rods, and I keep these rods built to what I want to accomplish, as referencing what type fishing, bait, and how to do it. But that's the reason I got my rods laid out like that. I pick up one, I catch it. If I miss it with a frog, I can pick something else up, lay the frog one down, pick something else up, and go right back to it. If I have a backlash on a cast and see something blow up, I can reel it up, lay it down, pick up something else real quick, and then keep moving. All right, we talked about my steering. Everybody likes to wonder about it. It's not your standard foot steering with the standard cables and all. This is what we call a push-pull cable. You're seeing in some boats that have a stick steering on the side to turn the motor. Well, in essence, that's kind of what I have, but I got it in a little bit different. I got it to where I could turn far left or to go right.
Do it again.
You see the motor going, turning opposite of what I push on the front. And I got it set up so whichever direction I'm going, it moves.
So that's just a regular, like a boat stick steer cable?
Yes.
That you've fitted to this unique little handle right there. Huh.
And it's a part of a bicycle with some, the bicycle bearing set into aluminum
keep
frame.
Turning it.
And this is a 70-inch release is what they would call for it. Most of it, no, let's take that back. This is a 6-inch.
Yeah.
The 7-inch costs almost $50 more. So yeah, an inch, half-inch turning each way, you might as well say it's what you're going to get, was not worth $50 more at this time. But it serves its purpose for me. I think I got it laid down. I go at time periods throughout the year, and I want to adjust something, then I have to come back and readjust it. But it keeps coming back to this setup because it makes it so fun just to ease along.
So Brad, with the exception of the one I got in the little pass down there, you know, they've all been in this little spot here. What is special about right there?
Right in here is 4 to 5 foot, and there's grass about a foot off the bottom in spots, and it's about, several of them could be 3 or 4 foot areas, but most of them are about 1 and 2 foot, just perfect for one bass to hide in each one of them.
So the grass they like, and it's a little bit deeper than everything else around?
And it's a little bit deeper than the grass off to the side over there where it was out to about 4 foot, 5 foot, and it drops.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 foot over there. But it's between the bank and there's a hump that comes down. And they just fall in this area and they don't leave and they'll stay here. And it's 85 up on top right now, and it's probably about 76 to 80 down below at about the level they're sitting at. And they're content sitting there, and in those little spots of grass where we've been catching a lot of them, they'll wait for that bait fish to run out of there, have another one, you know, bigger bass or bass go into the big group of stuff, and the bait fish will shoot out of it trying to run to one of these small ones, not realizing there's already a bass sitting in there. So in essence, that bait fish is committing suicide, not knowing it.
Right.
And he runs right into that bass waiting on him on the other side.
So, but basically, patches of grass in a little bit deeper water that may be a little bit cooler.
Yes.
Got it. I've missed a couple bites in this area, and then this one, he ate the jig. I always get them on a jig. Beautiful Mississippi bass on the cypress. Got a good one. I've had 3 bites on the jig. This one's the biggest. Huh? He's 19 and a quarter. Yeah. All right. 19 and a quarter. We'll get this big mouth back in there. So one thing that I carry with me that I gotta freshen up from time to time is the Sharpie marker. And what I'm freshening up is the dark spots on the braided line. There's one that's kind of faded, and really all that does take the Sharpie marker out. It's bright yellow braided line, and I put that over there and I make it dark. And that alternating bright yellow and then dark black line helps me with that visual of, there's another one. It's kind of faded to like a light green. It helps with the visual of seeing the line moving left or right towards you or away from you. And it's just faded a little bit, so I'm just freshening it up. Getting marker all over my fingers in the process, but that's okay. It's gonna help me catch fish. Just takes a minute. It really helps me see those bites. Strike detection visually, such a big deal. People that fly fish know it. That's why they use strike indicators. Well, my strike indicator is the braided line. It's bright yellow with dashes of black in it. All right, that should be enough to help. Put my Sharpie away, get back to jig fishing.
If you put a size rod, I know about what size you got.
Yeah, it's he's barfing up stuff. They're eating the black jig, man.
I done lost one on the crawl and one on the swim bait.
What happened?
The bait hit the water, he hit the bait. I never had a chance to set the hook.
Gosh. So I do something that is similar to Brad's setup, where he's standing up, but I leave my throttle down low and I'm putting the kill switch on my ankle. And what's similar about it is the ability to stand up and steer. And my steering's a little bit different than his. He's got a very ingenious, way to steer like this. I have it in the same position, so maybe two of us independent of one another are onto something. But this is how mine works. Start sight fishing, and as I want to steer one way or the other, I swing that in the direction that I want to go. He's off. Okay, we've had a great morning out here. Caught some really nice fish.
Yep, about 15 bass.
Nice. Some nice ones at that.
Yes.
I appreciate you taking me out for the morning. We're gonna go grab a bite to eat, and got a couple interview questions for you. You got a good place to eat local?
Yes, we're gonna go try a Cajun place. I know it's not Louisiana, but it's still Cajun, Mississippi.
Close enough. I'm heading there next. I'll be heading to Lafayette with Pack and Paddles, our newest Torpedo dealer. We're gonna do an install there tomorrow. Teach those folks how to do the install of the ultralight. But let's go grab some food, man.
All right. Well, so much for Cajun. We're going Mexican.
Yeah, it was closed.
It's
all right. Mexican's a good second choice. All right, so you've been doing this team-based kayak fishing competition. Tell me about that.
The Kayak Fishing League. We started off with, I'm in the south section, and the southwest side we had broke up in two. We had 6 teams. So we had to play each team out of the 6, so it's been one of them had to play the other team 2 times. We finished.
So explain what that is. You meet at a certain body of water and.
Well, the teams are set up with 4 fishermen to fish the team. It's kind of like you got 5 guys on a basketball team, and the rest of them on the bench. Well, we kind of have 6 to 8 guys. 4 of them are fishing, and the rest are on the bench for for that tournament.
Okay.
We fished against 4 other guys. And depending on who is the home team, they choose the lake. And we start off and we fish 6 hours against each other, 4 of us each. So there's 8 people on that lake fishing, 4
right.
from one team and 4 from the other.
Right.
And it's your best 10 fish out of all 4 of you. Total 10.
So even if it's one person on the team catches all of the best 10 fish, it doesn't matter?
At this time, it does not.
Okay.
And understand there's a lot of changes fixing to happen this next year, because this was the start. It was seeing what worked, what didn't work.
Right.
And you don't want to change the rules through the year. And we already learned that through the tournaments. But before next year start, we're doing a rules review, getting all that straight. No. Right now, first place gets 60% of everything that was paid in. Second place gets 20%. And then in third and fourth, both get 10%.
Okay.
Us, being not in that percentage, we don't get anything. That's where it comes in. The teams got to work and get their sponsorships up to help pay for it. And that's
right.
where their money would come in. We don't have a stadium to bring the money in like basketball, football, baseball. We got to do it our own. It is filmed on Pride TV, which is on Roku and I think on Amazon Roku. I think that's what it's all put on.
Right.
So we are televised and filmed throughout the day during our fishing time. Most of the tournaments are morning from 6 to 1, and the afternoons are 1 to 7. 1 to 7 is when they do it.
So you got a bracket here. Tell me what we're looking at here.
Right now, this is the final bracket. We start on the 11th, 18th, and 24th for the final day, September.
Okay.
September 11th, the second and third place teams right now will go against each other in each region. And it has the Alabama Hammers against the, let's see who they're against. The Tar Heel Lunkers on the 4th, and Massachusetts, I think that's Mars, against Motor City Ambassadors. And whoever wins there go to the #1 team in both the North and the South. The North is the Rebels, and the South is the Lone Star Bandits.
Okay.
And then that's how they set it up. And then after that, on the 18th, both of them, they don't choose. Right now, the Bandits in Alabama and the South have the choice of locations. This is the highest one. So Alabama will choose where their location, where they'll fish.
Right.
If they win, they have to go to where Lone Star wants to fish. But the final 2 for first and second place, they don't have a choice. It's Chickamauga. That's where everybody's fishing for the final.
Right.
And they'll do their 6 hours fish off against each other starting on the 18th of September.
Nice.
And I can tell you right now, having that motor with us has made a lot of difference on a lot of the guys, how we fish it, how to fish a team tournament.
Right.
And it's totally different than a regular tournament because you're talking with your team members and you're trying to work stuff out. Like if you found the fish and they hadn't, you want to try to get more of them over there to help.
Right.
Because you may have a bigger one hit their bait than your bait.
So a lot more communication and collaboration as opposed to regular kayak fishing.
Yes, where we might have like a cup team or all of us on a team together under a sponsorship. Here, you are a team. You are working together as a team. The other, we're all on a sponsor team. We still may be fishing north, one south. Right. We don't tell each other about much of what's going on.
It's an interesting dynamic, and it's you know, the sport of kayak fishing is always changing, always evolving to try different new creative ways to do it. And this one's interesting.
It is. It's going to take. We were always wondering how this first year is going to go. We're still trying to work it all out, and I think it's going somewhere because it's being watched. It's something interesting. It's different. And it's fun.
So I noticed you have a sticker on the back of your truck that says Tourney X 27-inch club. Tell me about that.
Well, there's a lake not too far from here, about 15 minutes, called Calling Panther. We're in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. And February 15th was the date. I pitched out, and this little young lady, or old lady, however you want to say it, rolled up at the bait. I just dropped the bait back in the water, and the next thing I know, my line's moving. I set the hook. I figured it was about a 22 to 24. I didn't think nothing else about it. We had the big bass going on, and somebody had a 26 3/4. I said, well, I figured I could beat that if I get down to Florida. So I finally get this fish from up under the kayak, where she done wrapped around some brush pile up under me, sort of about 2 foot deep, and comes up on my right side, and I try to net her on that. She comes back to the left side. I finally get her in the net, and I'm saying, yeah, that might be 24 inches. That's not a bad fish for a day. And I lay her out on the board and noticed that the tail went past 24. And I said, was the mouth closed? You know, thinking about, well, maybe the mouth's open. I looked, the head wasn't even on the brace. It was above the brace. And I'm going like, oh, this is better than 24. Way better than 24. And I'm looking at the head, getting it adjusted with the mouth closed, and I look back and it's showing hair touching 27 inches. I'm going like, oh man, no. So that was my personal best on February 15th, and she had already spawned out here in Mississippi. Being a 27-inch bass hitting a vibrating jig.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking me, man. I'm gonna get up the road, get down to Pack and Paddle in Lafayette, and I appreciate the time we spent together, man.
I appreciate it. Had some fun.